I have a cool project that we're going to be making. It's been done before, but not many times, and it's going to be good fun. Some of you may have already seen the Wiiata in there, and yeah, I guess we've kind of all grown to like love this car. I was going to start taking it apart, but I have now decided actually I'm going to put a V8 in it. That's not the series we're doing now. That's going to follow up. So we have so much to come. Also, I'm sorry about the noise in the background. There's not a lot I can do about that though. This is a working area for everyone. Anyway, the actual project that we're starting right now is this MX5 in here is going to be turned into a gaming simulator. So we're going to be getting rid of the windscreen, we're going to be getting rid of the engine, and we're going to be replacing it with a monitor, a big wide one. We're going to be replacing it with an Xbox or a PC eventually, and it's going to be a full sitting car as a simulator. And not only that, it's going to be able to roll, it's going to be able to steer, and I'm going to be able to transport it to places, to events, and I'm going to hopefully eventually look to be able to rent it out as well. So when it's done, everyone can enjoy it. Now I'm going to give you a rundown on where we're at so far, and we can crack on. So I'll come in here first. This is pretty simple. This is the Reassembly. I'm just going to be storing some stuff in this container. I'm also taking this car apart to basically free up some funds to build next door. We'll then build this another time. That's enough of that. Let's get on to the actual build. So in here, we have loads of mess. This is a Lexus 1UZ FE VVTi, and that will be going on that car next door, but not yet, so it's going to stay there for the meantime. Down here we have the other random projects that we've been doing. This is a cozy cube. A lot of you have definitely seen this one. I can't believe how viral that thing went. But here this is. We're going to now have to empty this container completely so that we can get some room and actually get to the project that we're going to be doing. So let's do that. These are the coilovers which we're going to be using on the gaming sim car. These have been kindly sent to us by Max Speed and Rods, and they should do the trick just nicely. That is significantly better than it was. And now we can see where we're up to on the actual car. I've already removed the engine, as you can see. I mean, what I've done is to drop the whole subframe, suspension, wheels, everything. I've just dropped the whole lot off the car, and then all I'm gonna have to do now is just take it apart, clean it up, and put it back on there without the engine. Underneath at the back is also the same. It's completely stripped out as well. I would really benefit actually from this roof not being here. Now I know these are heavy, but I guess you're about to watch me have a go at lifting it by myself. Fingers crossed I don't drop this. It can stay on this one for now. At least it's then stored nice and safely. Now we're clear. We can get the inside of the car empty. I've got a little bit more to do now then. I've got the steering column, like the AC, stuff like that, a few more electrics behind there, but that is pretty much stripped out and ready to go. Now the good thing here is that we can actually start moving forward. We've got the whole inside that we can kit out, and we've also got the whole outside. We're gonna need to get everything powder coated. We're gonna need to get everything refreshed and put back together as well. So, I don't really know where to start, but I'll just start somewhere. If anyone's got any ideas of cool things that they want to see in the build, We're going to keep it right-hand drive. We're going to do a big curve monitor across the front as well. We're going to have bucket seats. There's going to be cool stuff. But if you've got any thoughts now, let me know and we can start working on it from the get-go. Okay, so now we have a clean base to work from. We can start getting all the last little niggly bits off and then we'll be ready to move them forward. I also think for now, we're just going to leave the wiring in the car as I want to retain use of the headlights and I would then like to be able to follow the wires back. Then we can still keep them flipping up and down. That was guys. I need a deep socket. I don't have one, but I do have a through socket, and these things are lifesavers. The life of me. That is everything that can be unbolted, unbolted. All I need in there is just a box, a big metal box to put my Xbox in, or PC eventually. So I can just cut out everything I don't need, as long as I can put suspension back on the car. This is going to take forever. Doing the whole engine way. So a lot has changed since that last clip. I sort of didn't really film anything in landscape, but I filmed everything in portrait for TikTok because that was a demand. I'm just going to run a montage here quickly, like a 2-minute montage to get you completely up to date with what's going on. And yeah, then I can show you now where we're up to. Take a look at this. I've bought this Mazda MX5 and I'm going to turn the whole thing into a sim rig. Let's make a gaming sim Miata. So I'm going to strip the whole bay, cut out everything I don't need, and I'm going to replace the engine with an Xbox, and eventually it will be a PC. So now I'm cutting off all the rust, everything I don't need, get it all nice, smooth, shiny and painted. I'm going to do the subframe, I'm going to do the engine, I'm going to do the whole lot. It's going to be beautiful when it's done. I'm just getting everything all painted up now, making it all look nice and pretty. Getting it primed and painted black, the whole underside, the subframe, all the little bits and bobs, the steering rack, the wheel arches, everything all is getting done. Here you can see that I'm just stripping all the underseal off, making sure there's no rust that's going to be remaining underneath. Everything underneath the car, even the bits you can't see, are still being painted black because we want it all to be as good as it can be, even when you can't see it. Of course, the car is never actually going on the road, so it doesn't really need undersealing, but we're getting the primer and the paint on there, and that will keep the metal all nice and protected going forward. And here is the finished product. All I'm going to do now is paint the bay white to make it look good for the meantime, and that is the front end, nice, completely refurbished, nice and clean with no more rust in any places. Mr. Postman turned up at the door with all of our goodies. We've now got our new upper arms, lower arms, and everything we've already refurbished laid out on the floor. So let's get cracking on with putting it all together. We start out with the lower arms. One of those bolts I accidentally snapped, so I need to get a new one. And on goes the upper arm, the hub, knuckle, and brakes with our new lower ball joint as well. We'll slot that in there, and then we're just going to have to move on to sorting out our steering rack so that we can put our tie rod ends in as well. So we'll pop that on just here now. I accidentally got steering fluid everywhere, so I have to give that a clean up, but at least now we can pop the end back in. Just the coilovers left to go. Brand new suspension, just looks so good. So that is side one completed. Here we are. We have it all done, completed, looking really good. I just need to get those brake calipers done professionally, I think, just so they do finish it off, but we can get that done soon enough. All we need to do now is bolt here, straight onto these up here, and we can get our suspension mounted in the top as well. Let's see how all of this looks bolted to the car. And here I am, struggling. Now this looks really unorthodox doing it this way, but it helped me balance the weight by myself. That's too long, and I don't have a deep 19, but I do have a through socket, which effectively is the same thing. And we're finished. That looks lovely jubbly. Look at that. Now that all of this is in, we know exactly where the engine can go. We can start stripping it down, hollowing it out, ready to make it the PC case. But for the meantime, this should bring the idea to life. It'll be better to have a PC, and it'll be really cool to use the engine as the PC. So that's what we're gonna do. Of course, if we're gonna turn this MX5 into a sim rig, we need a cool place for our consoles and stuff like that. So I started out by taking everything apart, the fuel tank out, taking out the lights, and I've cut out everything that we don't want. Now we have holes in the floor, but what we're going to do is we're going to clean it all up, and we're going to work from above, and that hole is going to be patched from the underneath when we clean the underneath. So for now, I'm putting some rust converter into any areas that I can't get anything. I've also foamed the tight areas and stuff where I've cut, and then I filled over them and put some nice black paint. After that, I've gone for some wood on the interior, which I have figured out our shape by mocking up out of cardboard and then transferring it onto the wood, marking it on there and then cutting it out. That way we don't waste any wood, only cardboard when it goes wrong. Measure 1,000 times, cut once, save your money. So I put my wood onto my very professional workbench over here, got to cutting. I done the whole thing with just this one handsaw because, well, it's the only tool I've got. And then I ran it over to the car for a test fit. It all fit after about 9 gazillion tries, which is an amazing result. Now, I know that fits, I've got to take it all out. I'm going to put on some extra black paint over where we've put any body filler or any more primer. So I've cleaned it all up. I use glass cleaner because it works just as well and it's cheap. I've done a whole nother coat over the whole thing so it looks a little bit better, even though we're never going to see it, but I want it to look good. So then I went to get myself some carpet. This can go over the top of the wood, so I ran this home in the Fiat, got it rolled out on the floor, and managed to get it all cut out looking lovely. Now I'm telling you now, this did not go as well as it looks. I accidentally cut out the same side twice, very annoying, so I had to then remark it up, recut it out, and then I could get it in the car This was really annoying because I wanted to use the leftover to make a rug at home, but you can't win them all. Over we go now, let's get it in the car. So we're going to put our wood in first. Followed up by our new fresh carpet. And I'm just going to weigh the ends down with a couple of batteries for now because I need to staple it down still. But there's the Xbox in and it looks so much better. It looks good. And this is where we're going to put all of our old consoles now, fridge, whatever we're going to put here, I don't really know. And then finally this piece goes on here, but there's no steering column to attach it to. I'm still going to keep it, but I'm not sure where. We have the monitor. This right here is the Samsung Odyssey 49-inch OLED smart monitor, going to be the windscreen on our MX5 racing sim. Now let's get it unboxed. I'm gonna read the instructions for a change. Now let's turn it on. I've made it a little darker in here to emulate a better scenario. Not only does it work with the controller, but I can connect it to my speaker. So I've just offered it onto the dashboard for now. The bottom of the monitor is going to sit along the bottom of the dash. I'm going to have to do some trimming and some cutting. And when we come inside the car, all of these light areas, I'm going to have to cover those up as well. And then this is the driver's seat POV. I don't have the wheel in yet, don't have any of the actual important stuff, but that is it. That is the dashboard in, the monitor offered up. I'm working here on getting an old console shelf. I'm going to do like a mini fridge, some cool stuff just there. And if we come into the front, the engine is missing because that is off, and I'm getting it turned into a custom PC. This is also my favourite part of the whole car. And because that was a little bit of a mess, I'm going to end the video there. I'm going to make sure to do the next video in a full proper landscape, and we'll get everything going from this moment forwards for YouTube videos. So if you do want to see this car get built, we're going to go with a proper custom PC build. We're going to be going with like Moser or something like that as the sim wheel set up, and it's all going to be done properly. We're going to use the original cars, pedal boxes, cool stuff. You know, it's going to be sick. It's going to be really like as realistic as possible. So yeah, just make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're just here for the next video. When will it be? I'm going to try and go with weekly, worst case every other week, but every Saturday or every other Saturday around 12 o'clock UK time. So I'll see you soon. Enjoy.